Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. They're installment of Scott Selections here for Tuesday, August 29th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a nice winner in the U.S. Open with a two-pick parlay. We had Mueller to not win a set against Djokovic, and he got buried, parlayed with Papyron and Stricker over 3.5 sets. That went four, and that two-pick paid out a minus 127 on FanDuel. So nice winner. Look for the winner here on Tuesday. And for today's play of the day, going to do another parlay. Had a lot of fun sweating out those two matches, so we're going to do the same thing here on Tuesday. However, slight difference is only going to be one tennis play. The other will be a WNBA game. So there's going to be a little bit of a hybrid here for the parlay. But for the actual odds here, the payout's going to be a minus 121 on Bet365. Now, for this parlay, it is available on DraftKings as well. So if you don't have access to Bet365, that is okay. However, the reason why I am doing Bet365 is because of the odd differential. It's minus 121 here, but DraftKings had around minus 147. So there is a pretty steep price difference, but it's still manageable. The point is, I am going to take the better price, obviously, into this spot. But the two big parlay is going to be on Momo to win a set against Kashanov, and that is a minus 450 play parlayed with the Dream. Halftime and full time, the double result there, and that's a minus 200. And once again, that two pick pays out a minus 121 on Bet365. Time recording of 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. So covering why I'm going to take the two plays here. I'm going to start off with tennis, starting off with the pros for Momo. He's been in pretty good form lately on hard court, and he's been really playing a lot of hard court matches leading up to the U.S. Open, so he should be pretty accustomed to the surface. He has won at least one set in 9 of his last 11 hard court matches. So Momo, against pretty good competition most of the time, has actually been competitive, and I do think that once again, based on his current form, he should be able to win one of the first 3 sets in this match, which will give us the win. But the main reason why I'm going to take the Momo prop here is going to be because of his opponent, Kashanov, who is a very solid player when healthy. The problem is he has not been healthy for a long time. He has not played a singles match since the French Open, so he's not played a singles match in several months because of a stress fracture and a partial fracture in his sacrum S1 bone. Now, he was supposed to come back for Cincinnati, but he canceled, which suggests that he's not fully at 100%. And I do think as a result, Kashanov is in pretty serious danger of losing this match in general. But Kashanov, even when he was healthy and when he was winning a lot of those matches in the French Open, and even before that, he's never really been that good at winning in straight sets. And to go through his results leading up to the injury, Kashanov had lost at least one set in 9 of his last 11 matches. So even when he was winning and when he was healthy, he still was not great at once again winning comfortably. And he did let his opponents have moments where they were able to win a set. And I think that should happen once again in this matchup. Or Kashanov's completely hurt and Momo's able to beat him because he's going to be a bit rusty. The point is Kashanov has a lot of variables that work against him in this spot, and Momo has been consistent enough. He's also American, so he should have a pretty decent home crowd advantage there in the U.S. Open. But I do think that Momo should probably win a set more. I think he might win the match, but I do think there's some value to throw this in for a parlay. And for the WNBA game, once again, the Dream halftime full time. Couple reasons why we're going to take this play. The first reason, the Mercury are one of the worst road teams in the history of the WNBA. They have lost 15 of their first 16 road games this season. Now, the Dream aren't exactly a great home team, but they are better at home than on the road. They're below 500 in general, but they are 9-8 at home. So there is a slight home court advantage there. Pretty decent if you factor in how bad, once again, Phoenix has been and how useless they are in other arenas. But to go through the actual net ratings for these teams, at home this season, the Dream have been pretty good in terms of first half net rating. They have a first half net rating of plus 3.5, which ranks 6th in the league, while on the road, the Mercury have a first half net rating of negative 26.3, which is last in the league. For reference, the second lowest net rating in the first half on the road is the Fever with a negative 15.6. So it's not even close. The Mercury, once again, have been useless in the first half on the road all season long, and I really don't see that changing, especially considering the motivation for these teams. The Dream are still competing for a playoff spot. They're currently in possession of a playoff spot, but they've not clinched anything yet, so these games do matter for them. Meanwhile, the Mercury have actually nothing to play for because they were eliminated from playoff contention earlier this season, and the injury report suggests this team really might just pack it in because Sophie Cunningham is out. She's averaging 11.3 points per game. Petty's out. She's averaging 5.2 points per game, one of the better role players on this roster. And Taurasi has missed the last 2 games. She's questionable. I don't really know why the Mercury would let her play a bunch of minutes when the game doesn't mean anything. Plus, you can make an argument that there might be some tanking involved because you have a couple of really good college players coming out next year, and you might get the first pick in the draft. So there's really no motivation for the Mercury to try in this game. The Dream have a lot of motivation, and I think that should definitely result in a pretty easy win for the Dream in this spot. And the last reason is going to be the actual head-to-head in the past. The Mercury, even when they were good, have not really had much success against the Dream. The Mercury are a 1-5 ATS in the last 6 meetings, but simply put, you have a team that is fully motivated at home against one of the worst road teams of all time that has nothing to play for and is battling a bunch of injuries while the Dream are fully healthy. I think the Dream should be up by a decent amount at halftime and coast to a nice win here in the full game. So once again, the 2-pick parlay here for Tuesday is going to be on Momo to win a set, and we're going to parlay that with the Dream halftime, full time, and that 2-pick pays out once again at -121 on Bet365. Until tomorrow, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.